Russian President Vladimir Putin has invited Prime Minister Modi to visit Russia next year, and this invitation has come through External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who is visiting Russia. He had met External Affairs Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, also, and yesterday he was having a meeting with President Putin, where he handed him over a personal message from Prime Minister Modi as well. This upcoming invitation that is going to happen in 2024 when Prime Minister Modi is expected to visit Russia holds a lot of significance. This will be the first time in the last 2 years almost, ever since this Russia-Ukraine war has started, that Prime Minister Modi and President Putin will be having a bilateral meeting. Also, the war which has been going on for almost 2 years has been India has taken a very nuanced position on this entire conflict, and it has avoided, in fact, it has rejected Western pressure to condemn Russian action in Ukraine. And rather, it has said, and it has time and repeated at multiple platforms, that the hostilities should cease immediately and the humanitarian aid should be reached out to the people who have been the victim of the war. India has also sent humanitarian aid to Ukraine. India has called for peace. Prime Minister Modi had during his meeting in Samarkand, SCO last year, had already said, President Putin, that this is not an era of war, and that has echoed across the world. So the world clearly knows India's position, that India doesn't want countries to have a fight. The hostilities should end, but not at the cost of other countries' own national interest. The another major challenge that the world is currently witnessing is, of course, the Israel-Hamas war that has been going on for more than 2 months now, and it is showing some sign of overspilling in the region. We have already seen Houthi militants attacking many ships, including some of them Indians, who tried to pass through Red Sea corridor, and many ships have been damaged. There have been retaliatory actions from U.S. Forces. In fact, USA has made a coalition, including some of the European countries, also to protect the maritime route along the Red Sea. But having said that, the tension continues to rise in the region, and that is going to throw out of gear the entire global supply chain that is being expected. So it will have, of course, a geopolitical repercussion and a geo-economic repercussion as well. So in that context also, India, Russia wants to engage as to monitor the evolving situation and how the world should need to address those concerns and those challenges which are upcoming because of the because of the Israel-Hamas conflict, its implication in the region, Houthi militants, Yemen rebel and their attack, and the entire conflict that is happening in the Gulf region. Also, the entire India-Russia bilateral relationship, which has been going on for a very high trajectory growth rate, one should say, because the bilateral trade between the two sides had already increased $50 billion, but most of it constitutes from arm that is coming from Russia, and oil that is also coming from Russia. So the trade balance is largely in favor of Russia, and India wants to pair that balance. And for that, Indian exporters are increasingly being wooed or being encouraged by the Indian government to go and invest in Russia and export stuff to Russia. That could be aeroplane parts, that could be mechanical parts, petroleum, refinery products. It could also be pharmaceuticals, FMCG goods, clothing, textiles. So everything that is possibly having a European destination, and that could also have a demand in Russia. This is the time. This is an opportunity when Indian market, Indian suppliers can find a new market, new potential market in Russia, and that is what the two sides are talking about. During the External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's meeting in Russia with Sergei Lavrov, the Russian Foreign Minister, he also had signed two important documents, and one also pertains to the Kudankulam nuclear power plant. We know that India and Russia have been a very strong and deeply trusted partner, especially in the areas of space technology, nuclear technology, defense technology. Now, the new and emerging technology, including cyber security, is one of the areas where the two sides are keen to collaborate and work along. One thing also is very important, regarding this entire visit of External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, that whether India is trying to recalibrate and rebalance its alliances and its partnership across the world, because we have, in the last few months, the global geopolitical situation has changed very vastly. We have seen US-led alliances, after withdrawal from Afghanistan, and then focusing entirely in Ukraine conflict, and now the Hamas and Israel war, where of course the USA and NATO's resources are also being pushed. There is a global concern as to how this whole entire conflicts are going to be, and how India should place itself, how India should partner with its long-term friends and allies, traditional partners like Russia, and of course the relatively newer allies and partners like USA, to which also India has a huge interest in terms of technological collaboration and defense and other equipment manufacturing and collaboration and cooperation. So, how India will continue to balance its strategic ties with both Russia and the USA-led West, especially in 2024 when the divide between Russia and the West has been deepening. India's balancing act between the two sides continues to be very nuanced, and this is something that Indian foreign policy will be very much focusing on in the coming year. Meanwhile, we know that Prime Minister Modi's upcoming Russian visit could be one of the busiest and most sought after visit by Indian Prime Minister to Russia in the recent months, because of the global geopolitical situation right now, and how the world takes this entire development of bilateral ties between India and Russia. That also remains to be seen.